Nobody wins when the family feels.
Police department is on the scene of a person shot who has suffered life-threatening injuries. Just before 7 p.m., North Precinct officers were dispatched to a person shot call at an apartment complex in the 3200 block of 17th Avenue North. Officers arrived on scene at the complex when they observed an adult female victim lying unresponsive, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound.
The parents tonight. Birmingham police say his mother and father died after a possible domestic dispute. This tragedy shocking the entire community, especially the Woodlawn community where it happened. The WBRC crew was the first on the scene tonight. Our Taylor Pollock joining us live now. Taylor, we know these shootings happened in 2 different locations in Woodlawn.
Yeah, Brittany, that's right. And we also know, like you just said, that a child now no longer has a mother or father after a deadly domestic dispute that, like you also just said, started in one location and then ended several blocks away at Woodlawn High School.
Birmingham Police Department is conducting a double homicide investigation. Just after 6 p.m., East Precinct officers were dispatched to a person shot call in the 6800 block of 66th Street South. Officers arrived on scene when they observed an adult male lying unresponsive in the roadway, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Birmingham Fire and Rescue personnel arrived on scene and then transported the male to UAB Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Responding officers on 66th Street South issued a Be on the Lookout bulletin for the suspect's vehicle. A short time afterwards, East Precinct officers were notified that a person was shot at Woodlawn High School.
Family, as a man, I'll be honest and tell you, it's no man or it's no woman on this earth worth throwing your life away that you was in a relationship with. It's crazy we even got to this point. I was gathering information about a mom who lost her life inside of a parking lot at an apartment complex while holding her child. Now, it seems the lady who was held responsible, as all this was on Facebook Live, it seems she's pregnant by a young man who's also the child father of the mom she took out while holding his child. I then quickly discovered, only 24 hours from this incident, within blocks away, a young mom and young dad lost their life after a domestic dispute within their child. So we're gonna head to Alabama and elaborate on both situations. Not to mention, we're gonna definitely pay our respects. Also, try our best to learn from this situation. But first, remember family, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we're gonna jump right to it. Within the last 24 hours, family have released photos of a bittersweet birthday party held for a 2-year-old whose pregnant mother was deceased in Birmingham shooting. Family and friends had gathered Sunday to celebrate Sky Moore's 2nd birthday. There was cake with her mommy's picture, balloons, juice, cocoa melon decorations, and presents. Lots of presents. But there was also sadness in the room. Just 2 days ago, 2-year-old Sky was in the arms of her mother, 36-year-old Justin Wallace, when police say another woman had fired a fatal gunshot wound. May she rest in peace and love and condolences to her family. Now, not only was 2-year-old Sky in her mother's arm, but 2 of Wallace's sons were just feet away. Wallace was pregnant when she lost her life, leaving behind a total of 5 children. Sky and her siblings were uninjured in the shooting. The shooting happened just before 7 p.m. Friday in the 3200 block of 17th Avenue North. Wallace was taken to UAB Hospital, where she was pronounced deceased on Sunday.
Before 7 p.m. Right now, the Birmingham Police Department is on the scene of a person shot who has suffered life-threatening injuries. Just before 7 p.m., North Precinct officers were dispatched to a person shot call at an apartment complex in the 3200 block of 17th Avenue North. Officers arrived on scene at the complex when they observed an adult female victim lying unresponsive, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. Birmingham Fire and Rescue personnel arrived on scene and then transported the victim to UAB Hospital. Sadly, she has suffered life-threatening injuries. The preliminary investigation has revealed the following. We believe the victim was involved in a verbal argument with an adult female suspect. The adult female suspect shot the victim. North Precinct officers detained the suspect and an adult male for questioning. They have been transported to the Birmingham Police Headquarters, where felony assault detectives as well as homicide detectives will interview both of them. We can release that we do believe the victim and suspect know one another. We believe that both females share a child in common with the same male. We're asking if anyone has any additional information. Please give us a call directly at 205-254-1764, or if you wish to remain anonymous and receive a cash reward for your tip, please dial Crime Stoppers at 205-254-7777.
Now, under the comment of this video, they managed to put an actual photo of someone that was on the scene that took it and a screen recording of a Facebook Live. Now, this is a screenshot from that screen recording. Now, you see that young lady holding that firearm in front of Miss Wallace? That's a 21-year-old lady, according to authorities, that go by the name of Anaya Nowden, who happens to be pregnant, and apparently they both share the same baby father.
Ooh.
Pregnant and all, Anaya was later arrested 2 days later on Sunday. She was given no bond, charged with capital M1 in presence of a child under 14, booked where the offense was 7/7/2023 in Jefferson County Jail in Birmingham, Alabama.
Good morning. Time is now 7:56. I'm Kira Hood. 21-year-old Anaya Nowden is charged with capital murder after the shooting death of a 36-year-old mother. It happened Friday night in Birmingham's Norwood community. Nowden is being held at the Jefferson County Jail without bond.
Not even 24 hours will go by. Blocks away, two people, a young mom and dad, will lose their life after a domestic dispute. Now, what's crazy about this situation, authorities claim that the man took out the life of the young girl who lost her life later, who was found near high school. But also, they saying that the man that took his own life but don't know how he took his life, which is kind of crazy. Birmingham police have reported the demise of an adult female is being investigated as a homicide, and the demise of an adult male is being investigated as an unclassified death and may have been the result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, during that time, authorities have released the name of the parents of a young child who passed away Saturday night in East Birmingham. Police identified them as Aja Fairfax, 20 years old, and Corey Dennard Lewis Jr., 19 years old. May they both rest in peace and level condolences to their families. Preliminary investigation have revealed that Lewis Jr. fired shots at Fairfax and a second adult female after a domestic dispute in the 6800 block of 66th Street South. Fairfax and one other adult female then left the scene before the vehicle was found at Woodlawn High School. Fairfax was pronounced deceased on the scene. The other adult female, who is believed to be the driver of the car, was suffering from an apparent gunshot wound as well, who was transferred to the local hospital and now fighting for her life.
News: a little boy is without both parents tonight. Birmingham police say his mother and father died after a possible domestic dispute. This tragedy shocking the entire community, especially the Woodlawn community where it happened. A WBRC crew was the first on the scene tonight. Our Taylor Pollock joining us live now. Taylor, we know these shootings happened in two different locations in Woodlawn.
Yeah, Brittany, that's right. And we also know, like you just said, that a child now no longer has a mother or father after a deadly domestic dispute that, like you also just said, started in one location and then ended several blocks away at Woodlawn High School. BPD says that just after 6 p.m. they responded to a call in the 6800th block of 66th Street. There they found a man suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to UAB, where he later died. Then BPD says minutes later they responded to a second call at Woodlawn High School. There they found a woman dead from a gunshot wound inside of a car that they'd been looking for in connection with that first shooting. A third woman was also on the scene. She suffered a gunshot to the leg, but she is expected to be okay. BPD says they believe that the deceased man shot the woman who was found dead over a dispute involving a child that they had together. That child has been located and is unharmed, but again, just tragically lost both parents in what BPD is calling a completely avoidable situation.
We have a child who has lost both parents, and you can only imagine the argument never warranted a serious response, such as both of them being shot. And that's why we want to preach, we often talk about conflict resolution. It's past time we start talking about conflict avoidance. If you know there's tension, if you know there is an ongoing beef or feud, we have to just avoid the conflict.
Birmingham police say they're still trying to learn how the man was shot, and they ask anyone who has any information to come forward. Now, this makes the second and third homicides that BPD has investigated in a 24-hour window. I'm in Birmingham. Taylor Pollock for Fox 6 News, on your side.
Very unfortunate situation all the way around. We do want to say rest in peace to everyone who lost their life in these 2 series of events that we talked about. Love and condolences to you guys' family, and also love and prayers to anybody who was affected by the series of events that we just talked about. Had a pregnant mother of 5 kids who lost her life broad daylight from her baby father, new baby mother, 21 years old compared to 36 years old is crazy. Not to mention, less than 24 hours of that, you have another situation of another domestic dispute with just 19 and 21 years old, 2 young parents losing their life, leaving a young child left behind with no parent. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.